Beats Planet.
Yep. Voch and Will still back at it again. Got another episode, Voch Lombardi live for y'all today. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Welcome, all that good stuff. I'm your host, Voch Lombardi, Jamaican Air Horn.
Hold on, I got you with Jimmy.
I'm your host, Voch Lombardi. Thanks for being here. Hit all of the YouTube algorithm buttons for the volume. This is where we're going to be buttering our bread. So if you're on the Voch Lombardi YouTube side, I love on y'all too. I appreciate y'all too. And the Voch Lombardi YouTube side is a part of the volume umbrella. But I need y'all to start watching over on the volume side. And it was a lot of people that's like, Voch, how do I find the volume? Write this down. Voch says this. Go on YouTube and type in the volume first.
I saw that yesterday.
And just hit sub. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right, straight up and down. The volume is a YouTube entity in which Voch works on, and I'm just adding new details to this thing every time or whatever. But the volume on YouTube, go sub to it. You ain't got to hit the notification bell because we go live Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Central every time until something changes. And when we get to the regular season, things will change because Sundays will turn into a thing. But as of now, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Central on the Volume YouTube channel. So if you're on the Voch Lombardi side, be sure to make your way over there. I have my point guard, Will Steele, today. What's up with you, sir?
What's good, brother? What's good, child? How you doing?
If you would just put yourself on the screen for us, there you go. So look, first of all, chat, I'm wearing this shirt today because I was like, okay, so 4 shows in a row, Will Steele has worn something that's tight around his arms, so swole. You know what I'm saying? Just the last couple shows, I just been quietly noticing that all the Will Steele shirts be tight around the arms, so he could look big. So Voch just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, come in there.
What you gotta do when you ain't naturally big, you gotta find little ways of finesse it. I go to the gym here and there, but I got some ways to go. To go.
Yeah, I mean, Voch just wanted to throw something they got tight sleeves on. So
he been in the gym, y'all. He been in the gym.
I have been slowly but surely. Just
what's up?
I ain't been eating right, but you don't stop getting swole because you know what I mean. So
baby steps.
Baby steps, slowly but surely. We got a banger of a show for y'all today, but that's like redundant because like when do we ever not deliver banger? You know what I mean? But we're going to talk about. Funny enough, yesterday we kind of said that we were going to talk about trading up and trading down because that's just what the vibe of the show. That's where it was going. But we don't do 3-hour shows over on the volume here, so we had to save some content for later in the week. And it just so happens, Paw Jerry Jones just came out and gave us a little bit of a headline. So this is the first headline that we get to work with. Will Steele, like we ain't just pulling content out of nowhere.
No,
we got a headline to work with. Do you have that for us to for the people listening?
You want to listen to it right now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play.
All right, let's take a listen. This is Jerry Jones talking about trading up in the draft.
I would trade up this draft and just going in as much as you can say about it until you see what's there, who's on the other line. But yeah, I would trade up to, since we're down as low as we are in those first 2 or 3 rounds, if we had a chance to, and somebody that we had really coveted was sitting at the bottom, Frederick. We're sitting down there at the bottom, and we were able to trade up and get him.
I got you. So, first of all, can I just give flames in the chat box for my producer? Because I never would have been able to do it by myself. Can we just one time?
Salute, bro. Salute.
Just one time. So, this is what's interesting, right? And I've picked up this little strategy. Actually, let me just go ahead and do this and just hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. I've picked up this, thing that I do when I'm listening to Jerry Jones talk, right? Like, when Jerry's perfectly clear with his words, when he comes out sharp, he's practiced, he's discussed, he's talked to the people around him. You know what I mean? Like he knows exactly what the public image of this phrasing needs to be. When you watch a Jerry Jones interview, oh yeah, man, we'll do X, Y, Z, and Salvation Army, we'll do this, and we love that Prescott. Boom, boom, boom. That's how he sounds when he knows what's really happening, right? But when Jerry Jones hasn't rehearsed and he's thinking about it and he's just off the cuff, he goes, well,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about it, and
A
Cooper,
whole lot of us.
Cooper being traded away, it could be. You see what I'm?
Yeah.
So as I was listening to it, right, I was like, okay, so Jerry wasn't prepped to answer this. So in my mind, if a prepared Jerry was asked about trading down, he'll go, oh, never know. We'll see what happens. If the board falls to us, we'll see. But if you ask Jerry on a whim, hey, Jerry, what do you think about trade? Well, of course.
It's in the cards. Yeah.
So
Jerry.
on top of his sputter voice, as a fellow sputter, I sputter my ass off. As a fellow sputterer, right? And Jerry's sputter voice, we got a lot of details in that sputter voice. We got rounds to look for. We got types of players that we thinking about, which leads me to believe that this is a conversation that's really happened, but Jerry wasn't ready to talk about it, which is interesting.
Remember a couple weeks ago, sound like Jerry Madame. So a couple weeks ago, they asked Jerry, hey, what about offensive line? He said, yeah, we're looking at offensive line early, as long as there's not a Micah Parsons or CD Lamb that falls to us. So he already thinking about it, if they get into that range. And now he kind of, in a way, confirmed, unless he's just blowing smoke out his butt.
And I don't think he blowing smoke out his butt because he sputtered. Jerry Jones was very unclear with what he was thinking. Well, he didn't have a clear path to the image or the optics that he was trying to put out, so he had to sputter over it. But I think that's what's really going on. So I just wanted to quickly, before we get back into that, I just wanted to quickly talk about like the history of it. You know what I mean? So we're not really a team that does a bunch of first round moving. We normally like to sit back and let the board come to us, in which it has worked. It has worked just letting the board come to us. But we've seen, in the whole Claiborne thing, right? They'll jump up to go get Claiborne.
Yeah.
Or they'll jump up in day 2 to go get a Sean Lee or to go get a D-Law. Gave up a 2 and a 3 to go get D-Law. You see what I'm saying? But in the Parsons world, oh yeah, we'll go back 2 picks as long as it's somebody that we like. Oh, if it's later in the draft, yeah, to gain more picks, we'll go backwards. Even with moving forward, right? Like we moved up. Like the Eagles traded us a pick. We moved up to go get Tyler Biadasz in the 4th round or whatever. So the Cowboys will move around at every portion of the draft. It's just some is more, more likely to happen than others. Last year, Steven was like, hey man, we got 11 picks. We're gonna draft them and we're gonna sign them and they gonna play. And they all made the team. All 11 of them dudes made the team. So this team is just, I guess it just depends on the board. It just depends on who the actual player is. So Will Steele, if you'll just pull up the 30 visit list, I think the 30 visit list is kind of some more evidence, right? Just kind of some more evidence weaving into this thing because appreciate you. Because Charles Cross was on the 30. Let me just pause my minute.
Yeah.
Charles Cross is on the 30 visit list. And that ain't me making that sound or making that face like Charles Cross is a bad player or anything like that. I just don't think he's in the range. When I think about Charles Cross, there are some people in the league or just media scouts, Twitter people, whatever. There are people that think Charles Cross is the best offensive lineman on the board. What if the Cowboys think that? You understand? And I wouldn't imagine that we would use a 30 visit on somebody that we're not interested in. And you can go back into the whole Devin Lloyd and the Kobe Dean conversation, right? Devin Lloyd is a little bigger than Dean. I guess Dean's the smaller character. So if we had to pick out of one of those two guys, we got a 30 visit with Lloyd, which makes me feel bad about the idea that we can get Dean. It's not like Dean's not on the list because, the Cowboys think he's so good, we won't get him. Fucking Charles Cross on the list. Jordan Davis on the list. You see what I'm saying? So if it's anybody like that, I would imagine if the Cowboys are going to trade up in the 1st round, it got to be a dude. It got to be a dude. Now, how many dudes in this class are worth trading up for? Will, still, what you think? How many dudes at the top of this thing do you think the Cowboys are interested in, and that we could trade up for?
I've had this conversation a few times with some of the fans. There's not too many that I'm willing to come up for that high, like in the 12 to 15 range. I think I'm chilling. Now, once you start getting around 18, 19, 20, if our guy Jordan Davis is there, obviously if Charles Cross is there, that's one of those tackles you can see being there for 10 years on the left side, right side, wherever the hell you want him. But not too many, bruh. And that's not a knock on these players. It's just that I've been saying this for months. You just chill and sit back, you're going to get a dude, a really good player, I think, at 24. I almost would rather trade back.
We're definitely gonna get there at some point, but just looking at this list, bro, like there's some guys that are clearly, I don't want to say clearly, but relatively out of our range. There are guys that are in our range. Then there's these other guys, right? Something else that just stuck out about this list, right? We talk about small school guys, right? Like Jackson State on the list.
Yeah,
find it interesting.
A couple HBCU dudes are on the list, and I think both of them were former Power 5 players that transferred.
Fair enough. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
So just looking at this list, right? Guys that are out of our range, I feel like they're out of our range, but they're guys that, because of whatever reason in the draft, they could fall. Like, I understand Chris Olave, Traylon Burks. That makes sense, but Drake London's there.
Mm-hmm.
Drake London's another guy that looks to be like a top 10 guy, top 10 guy, depending on how some of these guys feel. He seems like a guy that's out of reach. Would you trade up for Drake London, Will, still?
No.
I agree. Also, something else too that I think goes into consideration with this list. If you miss out on Drake London, you'll be fine with Olave and Burks. You're not missing much, I would say. Like, you miss a little bit, but not too much. I think wide receiver is just more so about preference.
Can I ask you this about Drake? Do we have Drake London at home? Gallup?
Yeah, we got Drake London at home.
I'm just asking.
We got Drake London at home.
All right.
Sure. We have an at-home version. This don't look like no McDonald's.
Can we get Drake London? We got Drake London at home. Now sit down. Hi, Steven, down.
Shit, paprika and Kim. Sure. But if you miss out on Drake London and get any of these other receivers, you'll be fine. I think once Charles Cross is gone, your offensive tackle group automatically goes not elite no more. That makes sense?
Yeah, so you're basically saying Neal's gone, Cross is gone, and who's the other one I'm missing? Ekwonu.
Yes. So I'm just assuming what have to happen in a trade up situation. And if y'all disagree, chat box, please feel free to let me know. Also, the phones are lit. They're always lit. Somebody on there right now, don't leave. What I was talking about? I was talking about wide receivers.
Trading up with the guards,
line. Cool.
Or tackles. I'm sorry,
tackles. If I was to trade up, it'll like the pick would have to meet me halfway, right? So my only guys that I would consider, sure, if Charles Cross is one of those guys, if Jordan Davis is one of those guys, sure, like if Derek Stingley's one of those guys, they would have to be at like, and I would love to get a trade chart at some point. Ain't got to be right now, just to know what we would have to give up. But like if them dudes end up around 15 or so, and we can give up a third and a fifth to get there, that make a little sense for a elite player. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it got to be one of them dudes, though. Go ahead.
See, I've struggled with coming up because we need those damn picks, but it would definitely have to be one of 2 or 3 players tops, man. Like when we talked about it, Neal, Ekwonu, Cross, Jordan Davis. I mean, that's kind of where it stops with me.
I think if we keep all of our picks, I think that's the best way to address everything that we need, and I think that's the best way to get the result that you want. If you're going to trade up to get a player, you might not. I don't think you're gonna. Damn, Will. So look, just me thinking about this on the fly, right? If you do trade up for a pick, it's the player that you get is not gonna fix one of your needs that we feel like are like dire needs. So a dire need for me, what I think is,
I see
what I think a dire need is for us is like guard, linebacker, wide receiver, right? If we trade up, it's gonna be for Derek Stingley, Charles Cross, or Jordan Davis. None of them dudes address wide receiver, guard, or linebacker. So you're going to give up a pick in those rounds where you would have to address those players. You would have to sacrifice a monster on the field to summon Jordan Davis or Derek Stingley or Charles Cross. Are you willing to do that? Chat box, are you willing to do that? And I love
Damn, that's a tough. I see what you're saying. Like, tackle's not an immediate need at this moment, but how many of those 3 tackles can slide in guard and rock out there for a little bit? We got to think about that.
Now, see, Ikeem and Evan can do it.
Cross.
Ikeem and Evan definitely can do it. Cross ain't that guy.
So,
Cross ain't that guy. And then watch this though. And we're talking about Charles Cross, but he's the only guy of the 3 that we've seen projected as a guy that could fall. You don't see no mocks about Ikeem falling to the teams or Neal falling to the teams. Cross the only one that falls to the teams. So so them dudes that can play guard, I don't think they're gonna be there. Cross might be the only dude that's there, and he don't play guard.
He don't play guard. I'm real stubborn, and I'm trying to get moved off of this. I want my tackle to play this year, right? And and if we're thinking negatively here, he probably will because Tyron Smith is going to get hurt. But
also, to be fair, if we draft Charles Cross, then what's his face just got to sit down again.
Still, but I was just going there. Still is your swing now, which I mean that addresses depth. You know, addresses depth. So you know what? I'm sitting here talking about he can't play. You know what? He will play. I think Charles Cross will come in and he'll take over for Steele unless Steele just doesn't give that up. We saw a nice jump. What if he makes another jump in year 3? I mean, that's great for Dallas, but now you kind of got that overhaul there, and now Steele or Cross, whoever loses the hell out, is your backup.
My camera looks fantastic.
It does.
Man. Come on, dog. Look,
I was going to say something when you came on. That thing was crisp.
Boy, this show just improved so fast. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, so sure, Charles Cross would probably play immediately. Jordan Davis would play immediately. Stingley would play immediately. You still need a guard. You still need a receiver. You know what I mean? So you're really gonna have to put your draft GM hat on. So listen. So if you got to give up a third to get Jordan Davis, right? A third and a fifth, let's say. Are you willing to say, all right, we got to draft guard in the 2nd round, and we'll just live with James Washington at wide receiver, or we'll have to find somebody in the 4th?
I would try to package the 4ths and the rest of those 5ths to get back to the 3rd.
Yeah.
So that I'm not tripping. I'm like, okay, whatever I take in the 2nd, I'm still comfortable with going the other way in the 3rd. So that's what I would do.
Sure. Phone lines are lit. If you want to call in, the number is 202-926-1127, access code 309-104. Get your spot in line. Well, let me ask you this. Oh, we got people on the line already, boy. Y'all got the number saved. Listen, something else too, just sort of my thoughts on trading up and trading down, or just trading down, right? Just in general, is I don't really want to do a whole bunch of moving away from a talented player that might be there. Now, I think the most practical way to address all needs and still come up with players that we love is to just trade back a little bit, try to get another 2nd or 3rd. I don't think you're gonna get a 2nd for where I would want to move back, but definitely another 3rd. You would have to trade back to get more picks there, and I think that you can cover every need if you were to trade back and do that. My only problem with that is I hate trading back sometimes because the player on the board that I have, they may not be there. And I don't want to get cute. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be Cleveland and be like, oh, I'm trading away from Pat Mahomes. Oh, but we got picks, so I'm going to get David Njoku and like Jabril Peppers or some shit. You know what I mean? With them picks that we got. When you could just get fucking Pat Mahomes and just live your life. Or just whatever draft class there was that may not be accurate. But you see what I'm saying? You don't want to move away. You don't want to be the Giants, have Rashawn Slater on the board, trade back and be like, all right, we got Kadarius Toney and another pick at the top of the draft while the question marks are. You know what I mean? When in real life, I would rather have Rashawn Slater and just have the better player and just move on with our life. Imagine if you're imagine if you're the Cowboys last year just trying to get too cute. You go, oh, we're going to trade back one more time. Parsons will be there, and then somebody takes Parsons and Slater away from you, and now you like, all right, what's the next tier? Now what do we do?
Yeah, that was a trade initially I was kind of a little upset. I say upset, but I was like, damn, we only got a 3rd. But looking back at it, I guess a 3rd was pretty solid as well. I was trying to get them for their 2nd because they were desperate to get that wide receiver. But the last time they traded down further than you'd be comfortable with was the Travis Frederick trade from 18 to 31, and they only picked up a 3rd, which is strange to me. most GMs are going to get more when they're trading back. What's that? 12, 13 spots, 13 spots. So I hope if they trade back, it's not like that. If they trade back, they got to get some good stuff.
I just want to give a shout out to my chat box. Y'all are doing a fantastic job at populating the volume page. Let me just give a work call for y'all. Let me just one time. Give yourself a hand. We have 176 concurrent viewers on the Voch Lombardi channel. I just want to let y'all know we'll be doing live on both channels for the rest of the month, but starting in May, live streams will be exclusively on the volume. So we giving y'all another 20 some odd, 17 some odd days to hop over on the volume side, sub over there. Show up at 3 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, where we're gonna put the content out. Okay, we're working over that. Like both pages gonna be active. Don't leave a page to go to another page. But if there was a preferred route, if Voch, which stream do you prefer I watch? I prefer you watch the volume stream because I'm trying to get me and Will still rate. That's where I need y'all. trying to get a big house for the Johns and the Bucks. You feel me, Will still? For the Johns and the Bucks.
Hey man, trying to get them Jones. You know what I mean?
Slang. Okay. So we talked about boom, second and third. All right, cool. One more thing I want to talk about before we get to the phones. If y'all want to call into the show, the number is 202-926-1127. Access code 309-104. It's on the screen for you. Well, still, have you seen this video going around Twitter of Dez Bryant catching passes on this high school kid?
Yep. Man, it's getting a lot of traction. If you would have told me, I'd have pulled it up for everybody. But I'll find it. Let me give me a second.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you if you like. It's up to you, sir.
Well, I want to see where you're going with this.
What do you think about Dez Bryant catching over these high school children that's going to prom next week? What do you think about that? Because Cowboy there are some Cowboy fans that feel like Dez Bryant can still come in and play only red. So look, they feel like Dez Bryant can come in as a fourth receiver and not play special teams and just only be a red zone jump ball guy. In the back of the end zone for you without setting nothing up, without giving no other threats, no slants, no nothing. They just want Dez to come in and be jump ball guy in the red zone. What do you think about taking a shot on Dez Bryant?
As a no, but here's the thing about Cowboys fans and players like Dez. They fall in love with him and they can't let him go. Yeah. Can't do it. I think we're about to see that next year with a certain running back.
I love Dez, and Dez was the first jersey I bought with my own money, with my money that I made. That I couldn't afford at the time, but I bought it anyway. Dez was my first favorite wide receiver, just for me because I was born in '92. I'm 30. I wasn't around with Mike and them. Dez don't need to be playing no more football, though. Plus, I wonder how many takes did we have to get to get to that one catch because we only saw one catch. And look, I even saw Law Nation break it down on his channel.
Law breakdown.
I'll break down anything. Jerry Jones and blockchain. Let me break it down for y'all. I'm on Law ass about that. But listen, I wonder how many times did the kids shut down Dez before Dez got a chance to, get that one highlight off. Look, when I was watching it, right, I went straight to Space Jam. You remember when Charles Barkley walked on the court with the kids?
Yeah. On the street ball.
And they started kicking his ass. I was like, you ain't Dez Bryant. You just want to be that look like him. Be gone.
There you go, y'all.
I badly wanted to see some kids just trash Dez Bryant. I got a basketball time. Now
he looked good, man.
Will, that's a great catch, man. But that kid lived with his mom, bro. Come on, man. That kid don't even go to SMU. He just visiting. Get it off the screen, Will. Still, nah, man. Dez is not gonna be a Cowboy. Dez ain't coming back. I don't think. Oh, Will. This is my favorite one. Yo, Voch, you think Dez can come play tight end or something?
I've been hearing that for 5 years.
Oh, sir, just no. We're not gonna. Let me.
Basically, fuck him.
We're not putting Dez Bryant in no tight end. You gotta be ashamed of you. You gotta be ashamed of yourself, man.
That's when I smack the shit out you.
Let's get into the phones, man. We ain't doing nothing else. We got 3 callers. If y'all want to hop in, 202-926-1127. These lines go by fast. And look, Will still just how proud of me and you. You know what I mean? Like we walk into these things and we ain't really got topics because it's off season, bro. But we 30 minutes in already, bro. Like we've given.
Really?
We are 30, bro. It's 3:30. It's 3:30, and we've done nothing but talk about the news for the day. I'm proud of us because look, chat. It's a struggle to wake up in the morning and Will and the rest of the team over here at the volume like, all right, Voch, on this non-Cowboy news day, what we're gonna talk about? I'm like, I don't know. So the fact that we really ain't got much to talk about, and this ain't even news. Jerry Jones just makes a sentence, and we can make 30 minutes worth of content out of it. Come on, man, content kings. Let's get into it, man. We're gonna start off with Set It Off Chris. Space Cowboy up next. Let's boogie. What up, Chris?
What's up, man? Everything love, man. Hey, check this out. The reason why you have no room, I believe, this is just my theory, you have no room to trade up or trade back because you haven't taken care of things in the offseason and free agency. Last year, you could make that kind of move and moving back away from Slater and picking up the extra pick in the third round because you covered your bases.
Sure.
I mean, you ain't got no room to do that because of the way they handle free agency this year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure. I mean, we didn't go out and spend a whole bunch in free agency, but you're referring to like those placeholder kind of guys. I mean, yeah, James Washington is a placeholder guy. Dante Fowler is a placeholder guy. I can even argue that Connor McGovern is a placeholder guy. Now, how you feel about them as players in that position, I mean, that's up to everybody's own interpretation. I think we all would have liked for the Cowboys to do more, but hey, we shine in the draft, so I'm at least willing to wait to see what they come up with, and then we'll just talk about it.
I mean, okay. I mean, if you had to go out and play right now, those guys can play. Yeah. I mean, if you had to line up today, so this is where like you always said, Will McClay makes his money. Will McClay keeps to have the pro bono GM hat on. Because this is but this year they got this dude trying to stretch the catch up, putting water in this joker to try to make this thing go, man.
They try to stretch they trying to stretch the supply. Man. They trying to stretch the supply.
Man, they putting Similac in there, man.
They trying to walk on water.
The react is barely going across with the way they handling this,
putting
man.
Putting a nugget in the shake.
It don't make any kind of sense.
They mixing oregano with the, with the Reggie.
Man, listen.
It's a goddamn shame. Go ahead, Chris.
It's just terrible the way they've handled this whole situation because
the conference has been locked.
Couple of those fifths and maybe a third and move up and just go get Jordan Davis and be able to just transform your defense to another thing, being able to have whomever you put in linebacker to run free behind that monster. But I just don't see that happening, man. I just don't see that happening this year. You're probably going to have to sit and pick, just where it is, pick it and pray for the best, man. I'm gonna get out the way, man. I just want to chime in on that, man. Listen up, man, and just listen unfair, man, because I just don't want to be, hey, I got one more point, guy.
Hey, yo, Chris, one more point. Let me ask you something quickly. What do you think about the outlaw Josie Wales?
Listen, man, let's get this out the way. I saw that come across yesterday, and that goes to people who didn't grow up in an era where the good and the bad and the ugly, a fistful of dollars and a few dollars more, and to understand the greatness of the outlaw Josie Wales. So, listen, man, whoever said that, man, had their whole life, man. They didn't grow up. They didn't grow up with Sega Genesis. They didn't grow up with things
Game Boy Colors and shit
that get you to the point of understanding the greatness of those movies, man. Because if you ain't spent 3 hours of your life and watched the whole thing of the good, bad, and the ugly, man, you can't really talk to me, man.
At least a remake or something, shit.
At least a remake. Hey, Set It Off Chris, man. I knew you was a scholar, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, as always, man. I'll talk to you brothers later.
Yes, sir. Will, do you agree that if we would have done more in the offseason, we'll have a better opportunity to move around things in the draft, that maybe if we would have addressed more positions and we actually just talked about this, honestly, like the fact that we got to sacrifice drafting a player at need if we needed to trade up to go get Jordan Davis.
Yeah, I've been saying all offseason, had they addressed this offseason like they did just last year. I mean, they didn't have to do big name, top tier guys. We know that's not their MO. But if they would have attacked it like last year, people forget they brought in like 7 or 8 different free agents and probably over half of those dudes wrap one positions of need and added quality depth. Now, you got guys like Watkins that ended up being something. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought dude was a camp body. But for the most part, Curse was either going to be, a solid third team, special teams guy, third team safety, ended up being a starter. Hooker, we knew what he had. KZ was a starter before. Keanu Neal was a wild card. We didn't know what he was really going to be. But, I thought they did pretty good. Hell, Titan Secchi, a backup swing tackle, something that they usually do. They haven't even done that this year. So, they put themselves in this situation, and they didn't have to.
We really hit on, smaller name guys last year. We really hit on those. Even like Basham, right? And we're not looking at one. We're not looking at Basham to go out and be D-Law or something like that. But when D-Law comes off the field, somebody got to go out there. And Basham wasn't bad going out there. You know what I mean? So hey man, hopefully there's gonna be another wave of free agency after the draft. Like last year, we didn't even get Griffin. Well, 2 years ago, we didn't get Griffin until
we didn't get Hooker until July.
Right, so June and July still exists. So I'm just kind of waiting until I get an attitude, man. I just want to wait this out. We're gonna go Space Cowboy up next. Coach Evans on deck, then TC from Vegas in the hole. Let's boogie. Cardo, what up?
Yo, what's up, Voch?
Man, Cardo be giving the Cowboys a hard time in them Twitter spaces, boy. Boy, you be Cardo be in them Twitter spaces, just bro, Steven Jones gonna fight you one day, bro.
Man, I'll clock that bitch out.
You better leave Cardo alone.
What you got for the show, Cardo? Put my glasses on. Turn down your listen, man. Turn down your laptop, though. Turn down your laptop. Get a little bit of feedback. Your laptop or your computer, however you listen. Go ahead, though.
Nah, man. So I hear you guys talking about the whole trade up portion.
Sure.
Right? My whole thing is this: where would you think you're trying to trade up to?
That's my whole thing.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the reason I ask that is because I think it's obviously we won't know until draft night.
Sure.
Because when you're looking at that draft calculator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys have a bottom. I think they're 18th or 19th. Okay. In draft value, in terms of all their picks number wise.
Mm-hmm.
That's where their draft capital is valued. If you're looking to trade up in the 20s, let's say you want to trade up with Pittsburgh, for example, right? Pittsburgh's pick 20 is worth 850 points, right?
Sure.
Your first round pick's worth a 740, so you need to make up that 110. So, and also we got to account for that tax that some teams do,
sure.
Right? You have some of them teams that are oh, I need an extra fourth or I need an extra fifth, because they like to do that type of stuff.
Right.
So if you're Dallas, even if you want to move up 4 spots, you're probably looking up giving up your third round pick for 150 points,
sure.
Possibly an extra fifth.
Yep.
If you want to move up into the teens, you're probably going to end up let's say you want to move up with New Orleans, pick 16th or something like that. You want to go get Jordan Davis or one of those top guys that are dropping. So now you have 1,000 points. You need to make up that difference. So
sure.
740. Now you're looking at giving up your second round pick.
And see, what? This is why I'm glad I brought you on the goddamn phone, because I knew we needed this. We needed this table. We needed that information. That's why goddamn Space Cowboy get priority over here. Okay, that's enough. Go ahead.
But it's just, I think the biggest thing is that then you have the tax. Sometimes, you might have a situation where New Orleans might say, all right, if you want to move up, you got to give me your second and your third, or you're going to have to give me next year's third. And that's where you are not in a prime position to wheel and deal,
sure.
Move up and down. If you're Dallas, your best position would be to move down and move up, or possibly move up in the second and third round. But even at that rate,
yep.
I wouldn't do that because, again, you have so many holes on this roster outside of, it's a top-heavy roster, if that makes any sense. You need more guys in between. And you're not going to get that with every single one of these draft picks. That's why I felt if the Cowboys did the same strategy last year where, okay, you get a bunch of these guys on one-year deals, that's fine, but you've only signed 3 guys outside free agents to one-year deals.
Sure.
So, if there is a guy that is going to be on your team for 10 plus years, I don't care if you have to move up and get him. You go get that guy because you know that he's going to be a stud for years to come. Yeah. However, we've seen the Cowboys swing and miss before with a guy like Mo Claiborne, and I know some people are still scarred by that. I know,
that was a decade ago.
You always miss the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
But we have to be calculated with this. I mean, if it's a situation where Jordan Davis is at pick 20, right, or he's available and Pittsburgh's on the phone, you go on the phone with them and you're like, hey, I'll give you a third and a fifth to go pick up Jordan Davis. That's a conversation you can have. Same thing with one of the receivers, because if it's up to me, if you're looking at a receiver, you're probably going to have to jump Green Bay and New England to go get one, possibly. So, I mean, if you want one of them guys, but there's a possibility that these guys are looking elsewhere. And that's the risk of chance that you take with this. And I think that when you actually take a look at the value chart, it's crazy how much you have to give up just to move up like a handful of spots. Like, to kind of go back to last year, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but to go back to last year, right? When we moved down from 10 to 12, I feel like you could have gotten more, but when you look at the value chart, right, realistically, what Philly gave up was verbatim what you would give up. You would give up a third-round pick because the pick is that well, like, valued.
They didn't tax him, though, Space. I wanted them to tax him.
Exactly. And I agree with you there, Will. 110%. I would have been like, give me a third, give me a fourth. That's where Dallas really should have done their business there. And that's what's going to happen to Dallas. They're going to get taxed by one of these teams.
Always. You know.
And they always do that. So just remember, to anybody that's trying to, like, throw out these trade simulations and stuff like that, remember, a lot of teams, like, they give up a lot more that is anticipated, you know, and I think that if you're Dallas, you're probably looking there and you're like, you know, what can we realistically do? Like you guys mentioned before while I was on the phone line listening to you.
Right.
You don't want to take that risk to where, God forbid, you trade down and you have a Kenyon Green, other guys on the board, and you're saying, okay, we'll get these guys later, and then other teams trade up and jump you. You don't want to do that. That's why I hate it when you hear Steven or Jerry be like, oh, we're going after this guy. And some people might say it's a smokescreen, but that's a problem because you need to address those positions.
You hate Steven regardless, brother Space Cowboy. So I ain't finna let you just deflect that energy.
This man is like causing me to age.
Stephen Jones watched my show. Stephen Jones watched my show, and we're not gonna trash him over here. Stephen Jones is a good friend of mine, and he calls in often. I'm just not gonna let you talk shit about Stephen Jones while I'm just right here.
My ass for all I care. That's just me.
Hey, yo, Cardo. Hey, Cardo, plug your stuff. Plug your stuff. Where can they find you? Go ahead, bro.
You guys can follow me at Space Cowboy 17 on YouTube and on Twitter at Space Cowboy XVII. Voch, thank you so much. Will, thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your day, all right?
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate Space.
Yo, he do not play in them spaces, dog. He do not. I beat Stephen Jones the fuck up. I'm like, hey. All right, brother. Goddamn.
Yeah, he'll play.
Yep, Space basically reiterated some of the things that we were touching on earlier. And hey, man, we all agree. We're all simpatico on that. Let's get Coach Evans up next. TC from Vegas on deck. Carlos in the hole. What up, Coach?
What up, Voch?
Man,
Will,
cool.
what's good with you?
Will, what's good with you?
Oh, what's up, bro? I didn't know what he said there. It was good, bro.
It's all good.
He's not fluid in Natchez. That's what it is.
Yeah, Natchez. Yeah.
Oh, y'all from Natchez. All right.
That's a Natchez. And he's also a Baltimore Ravens YouTuber over at Sip the Tally on YouTube. So y'all go over there and check him out. What you got? He actually coached like he coached me. Like I played.
Wait, man, y'all did some shows together, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I seen them. What's going on?
Played under him, coached with him, all that kind of shit. What you got for the show, though, Coach?
All that good stuff. First, I wanted to come on and give you your flowers to say congratulations. Making moves. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you, like a big uncle, but not Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, for sure.
More tamed uncle.
For sure.
But just wanted to give you that shout out and to let you know that we kind of hear that same rumbling that you guys were talking about earlier about bringing Dez back to maybe be a red zone threat or a tight end. And, to me, it kind of went in one ear and out the other because sometimes you just got to let that girlfriend go that you really don't want to. And that's what Dez is to a lot of, probably more so the Cowboys than the Ravens, but that's what Dez is. He needs to just sit on down and do something else.
But man, Coach, man, sometimes
instigator like he is.
But man, Coach, sometimes when you got memories, man, you know what I mean? Like, You know what I'm saying? New joint may not be doing the things old joint. You know what I'm saying? It's just, all right, whatever. I just told Will I was gonna say
the
joint.
grass ain't always greener, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It ain't always greener. So Liz, you a Ravens fan and you kind of tapped in over there. Like, y'all looking at Jordan Davis for real, or is that just Cowboy fans think that he's not gonna fall to us?
I think that's smoke. I think
need all.
I think it's smoke.
I need.
We're really hoping that there's a run on receivers and quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, so we can hopefully land Cross. Cross is the best case scenario for us. Cross and Stingley is the best case scenario for us.
Man, Coach, let me tell you something, man. We up here talking about trading up for Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis at 24 is a whole nother party. That's a whole nother bottle of liquor.
Different.
That's a whole
24 and 14 is two different categories.
So, man, hey, man, we just going to cross our fingers and manifest it. What else you got for us, Coach? Go ahead.
No, I just want to give you flowers and say that about Dez, man. I don't want to be the one more thing guy either. So I'm going to let you do your thing, man.
Appreciate you. Coach, before I ask you to plug your stuff, man, what do you think about the outlaw Josie Wales?
The outlaw Josie Wales is right kind of in my time frame. I was a young adult. Granddaddy had me watching it, and it was a great Western/gangster movie.
Of course.
He was a gangster, but instead of Nike Cortez, he wore cowboy boots.
Fair enough. You gonna pull those pistols or whistle Dixie? Come on, son. You shitting me? Plug your stuff, Coach.
with the little tobacco hanging out.
You know what I mean? Tell them where to find you.
Sister Tally Films on YouTube, man. I appreciate you guys. If anyone loves just good ball, come see me.
Hey, man, appreciate it, Coach. Great call, man. Great call. See, Will, I'm telling you, man, appreciate you. It's these young folk that's out here hating on outlaw Josie Wales. You know what I'm saying? The old folk know. I can't
believe they told you to take it down.
Take down Joseph? You shitting me? First of all, Josie Wales is just one of the greatest names. Like just for a fictional character, the name Josie Wales is crazy for a fictional character. You know what I mean? Then him just smoking y'all watch Outlaw Josie Wales. Y'all ain't finna sit up here and let me get on this rant.
Rick said who?
TC, how old are you?
I'm 30.
You know about Outlaw Josie Wales?
Yeah, I do, man. I don't know about these young folks. Maybe they can start with like Unforgiven or like 310 to Yuma, then maybe move on to like the Man with No Name trilogy.
Oh.
I think by then they'll respect Outlaw Josie Wales.
Come on, man. What you got for the show though, TC? Thank you for having my side. TC from Vegas. What you got?
No worries, brother. I just got a couple questions. First one, do you think Sean McKeon has potential to be our tight end 2 this year and then maybe a starter in a year from now?
Yep. That's what we've been doing. You know what I mean? We'll take a receiver that can block and we teach them some routes, make them catch, and before you know it, you are a product of us getting you the football. That's what I think Dalton Schultz is. Just Dalton Schultz forgot how to block at some point, which is weird. But hey, we've seen to take these tight ends and we teach them what they're bad at. You know what I mean? So James Hanna, when he was here, he ran like a 4 or 5 or something. He was a receiving tight end, but he ended up being the blocking guy. So we just teach the opposite of whatever the hell y'all do. So yeah, Sean McKeon, let's boogie. Let's be the number 1 guy, because there's no indication that Dalton Schultz is getting any money after this year. And hey man, if Jelani Woods in the 4th, we're gonna throw a little party.
I feel that. And just a final question here. If I held a gun to your head and made you spell
I'll
restaurant,
shoot you.
And
Hell no. Do he know you is Voch?
I'll shoot you. But go ahead and say what you were about to say. I ain't let you finish, but go ahead.
And then made you wait till the 3rd round to take a guard, who are you taking? Who's the best option?
I caught that first part, in which I'm very happy that you're part of our cult there, but asking me to spell restaurant, I wouldn't be able to spell restaurant. And if anybody in the chat knows the inside joke of asking somebody how to spell restaurant with a gun to their head, God bless you, and I'll give you a shout out if I see it. But if I had to take a guard in the 3rd round,
yeah,
that's the
if we like take 2 people in the 1st and 2nd that we just absolutely cannot pass up that are not guards.
That's the funny part about it. Like, we don't know where guards are gonna go, so we may feel like, oh, you're a 2nd round guard, but you a guard, so you could be a third round guard. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, like guys that we like too much, like we like Salyer, we like Kennard, we like Ingram, like we can like guys, but but they guards, and teams may overthink them being guards. And I think when you get to round 2, pass rusher gets reintroduced, running backs get introduced. That next tier of wide receivers that everybody's in a rush to go get, cornerbacks, all those dudes get introduced. So there's a likelihood that guard can fall to the third round for you. I see Will smiling. What's going on?
For sure. Good to know, man. That's all I really have. Hey, actually, you have a quick moment for a UFC question?
Sure. Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on the Sterling versus Jan fight? Who do you have winning?
I think that it's weird that people thought it was a robbery. I actually went back to watch round 1, and it was kind of stalemate-y both sides. Jan was pressuring, didn't really do much. And Aljamain was striking, and I think he landed the more effective strike. So if Aljamain gets round 1, that makes sense. Aljo dominated round 2 and 3. If you want a 10-8 round 2, I don't hate it. And Jan closed up 4 and 5 pretty easy. If you think Jan won, I don't hate you, but I think it's egregious to think that it's ridiculous that Aljo didn't.
Right. No, I feel the same way.
And if anybody at the volume wants to drop a little more money on Voch for doing UFC content, we're here.
I turned Voch into Stephen A.
I'm way better Stephen A. Smith. We can do that if y'all want to drop some bread. TC from Vegas, appreciate you, sir.
They be tripping. They be put. Hey Stephen, we need you to go talk some UFC. What?
And Stephen A. Smith be out there trying his best to just hey y'all, but don't go past the top 2 fights. don't go past them fight. Listen, man, like I love, and I don't even want to say MMA because I don't watch Bellator, but I love UFC. I would much rather watch the early prelim fights that come on at 6 than some boxing main events. I just think UFC is just so much better now. I'm up here like all the fights.
A lot of action.
The bantamweights. The bantamweights may be the toughest division right now. The bantamweights, heavy from top to bottom, rooted to 2 to the women fights. All them shits is crazy. But the best boxers in the world don't gain my interest, and they're the best. You know what I mean? Maybe Arrow should go fight Bud and quit running from people. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, but till then, Jake Paul run your sport. Jake and Logan run your sport. Go ahead.
Hey, take a look at this here.
What you got, dog? Let me look.
So Jerry Jones, I guess he came to the top of the star on the balcony. He comes over top of the balcony. He says, "My subjects."
No, he didn't.
Yo, Jerry is out of pocket.
Oh, he did. Oh, he did. I'm reading his lips. Oh shit.
Jerry out of pocket, fam. Somebody
look, Will, watch this. He didn't say my subjects. He mean this shit.
Mm-hmm.
He practiced this shit.
See, we all laughing, but he hell. He for real.
Oh man. But look, to be fair though, I know it's gonna be some people on Twitter hating. If you're a billionaire, you know the fuck you want. If I had $1 billion, I owned a football team, and y'all came out to see me talk. Seize him.
Hey,
I be getting Clarence Hill up out of.
He loved Chill. He loved him. That's his man's.
I be acting wild for a black and mild Auburn miss out that mug.
Hey,
anyway, we get that Raw Gladiator with USC. It's a lot of technique, dog. It's a lot of technique involved, man. You may get these boxing. Ain't nothing like that sweet science, Voch. All right. Try not to get kicked in the head and choked out and your arm broke at the same time, all in one swoop. Shitting me. Let's get Carlos on the phone and see what he's talking about. Los, what up?
Good afternoon, Voch. Good afternoon, guys.
How old are you, Carlos?
We're having a good day, guys.
How old are you,
Carlos?
25.
Young, man. He young.
You care nothing about Outlaw Josie Wells, don't you?
I do not, man. I'll say this though. I mean, I really don't watch too much TV. I'm more of the anime type of person. So my type of stuff was Afro Samurai, Bleach,
for sure.
That type of stuff.
All right, then, player. We got you. And this ain't me hating because I'm an anime guy. Told me I got a little anime up here. But sure, go ahead though. What you got for the show, Los? Since you don't watch all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Space Cowboy kind of took the words out of my mouth. I mean, he made a great point with the draft numbers. I mean, I'll tell you what, he made draft numbers be like Cyber Chase teaching me math when I was a kid, because he nailed it out the park talking about the percentage and our capital of why we can't afford to trade up or down. And if we were to trade up for a player, the only players I would trade even up for would be Stingley and Jordan Davis. And damn right, they're not going to be cheap to trade up for.
Sure. I feel you.
That's
sure.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. We're on the same page there. It just you just have to find comfort into giving up something to get to that point, or trading back to get more picks, and you may have to sacrifice you may not even have to sacrifice Kenyon Green for real, because people talking about Kenyon Green falling to the second round. I think that's madness. But yeah, man, you just gotta find comfort, find your little comfortable draft pocket, and if you want to go there, then do your thing. I don't hate it.
Exactly, and I think the best choice if Cowboys were to trade, I think would be just to trade down, but not too much. At least leave us some some pie, but just to get more capital, and at least in the second or third round, and pick up some some solid plug-in guys that can be developed with Dan Quinn and his defense. Because if there's one thing I go into the season hopeful for, is that we retain Dan Quinn.
Sure.
Because if we lose Dan Quinn, man, it was going to be a rough off season. But I feel like with Micah Parsons coming back year 2, Diggs coming back year 3, and us refining our offensive scheme,
sure,
we should be solid. But I just feel the Cowboys need to attack this draft just to build for, sadly to say, next year, but just to compete in our division for this year.
Hey man, we're gonna be just fine. Don't you worry about it. Appreciate it, Los. Thanks for the call. Hit us up tomorrow. In the chat, Vaughn made a fantastic point. He says, I always wondered when you make the call to trade up, do teams ask you who you are trading up for? That's a fantastic point. We've heard Jerry tell his old stories about drafts where if they were moving around, he would ask, okay, so what position, like what side of the ball you're looking for? They may not say names. I even think that, but like that does go into the thought process though, because if you're the Cowboys and like just say last year you wanted Micah or whatever, and that, okay, well the Eagles want Devontae Smith or just the Eagles want receiver, you're more likely to move away from that pick knowing, okay, well the Eagles are going to get a receiver here. So I think a lot of that does go into it. Will, I got a comment that was on the top of my mind, just a trade scenario, then one call after this, then we're going to wrap up. The one scenario that we haven't talked about is if we wait till 24, right, and we just get whatever pick that is. So let's just say Kenyon Green at 24. Do you take your second and third round pick and move up into the early 30s to get a wide receiver there?
Can you get to the early 30s? Because I looked at it was Professor O. He said 88 and 56 gets you to the 40.
Get you to 40?
I think it gets you to 40.
Damn.
And he's pretty good with the math. I mean, he's the math scientist guy. So I mean, maybe there's a team that says, hey, that's good enough. But
because look, honestly though, to be fair, we got 4/5. So if it end up being 2, 3, and 5, then I'm just throwing in fifths to get what I want. Would you take those picks, package them up, and try to move into the if it is the 40s? All right, so let's just say anywhere from the 30s.
My whole thing was, if we have to give up a third round pick to move up, whether it be from 24 to 20 or from, say, we move back and then move back up, whatever. If we have to give up that third round pick, I think you got 2 fourth round picks, by the way. You got two fourth round picks, 3 fifth round picks. Package some of those, get back into the third, because you need 3 top 100 players that can come in here right now and contribute in a big way.
Sure. Fair enough. If it is the case, man, listen, we have a lot of needs relatively, but we got players that can play. I don't think we got a whole gang of needs. I just think we got some pressing needs. So if you end up with Kenyon Green and George Pickens, you can celebrate and kind of chill and just play, or just Kenyon Green and Sky Moore, because we at that point, so we can get whoever we want at, if we're at the top of the second, middle of the second. If you get a guard and a wide receiver, then you can take the rest of the draft however you want to. You get to the 4th round, draft your linebacker there, your tight end in the 5th, your running back in the 5th. You can get a swing tackle if you like. and do whatever you want to do with 6 and 7. I think all less relevant.
So you're cool with just, even if we don't come back in the third, as long as you get 2 of what I consider of the 3 top needs in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, guard, receiver. I got linebacker up there too. If you get 2 of those 3, you're like, okay, 4th round, we can come back and swing it.
For sure. And what makes me feel comfortable about this, I think we can find linebackers. I think especially running hit guys. And what makes this better with taking linebacker late is that you have Jabril and Micah as foundation linebackers. You see what I'm saying? So if you get a guy that's better than Jabril, then we celebrate. Fine, plug him in. But if they're not better than Jabril, then we'll just lean on Micah and Jabril. You see what I'm saying? And we'll just live our life that way. I would love to see where a guy like Channing Tindall goes, because I think he fits those 2 perfectly.
It's kind of going under the radar.
Good. Let him fall. Let him and John Mechie be around the 4th somewhere. I don't think it'll happen, but just let them 2 be around.
I mean, in the PFF mocks, he's been dropping to the 3rd every single time, but those are mocks. Sure. I have a feeling there's going to be a run on receivers from about 15 to late 2nd. So you're probably going to have to get a Mechie end of the 2nd, early 3rd at the least.
I'm gonna ask you off air, man, because I understand you don't be wanting to do drafts and shit like that, but that's if you're responsible for the bulk of the content of the draft. I'll be doing the bulk of the content. I just want you around a little bit. I don't know what talk. I'm not gonna ask you to say nothing online that'll incriminate you right now. You ain't even on the screen. I see your face, but they don't see your face. Just we ain't gonna say nothing. We're not gonna say nothing. But come on, yeah. I don't want to do draft with nobody else. All right, let's get into the phones here.
Get me in trouble.
Trying to recruit. I ain't gonna say nothing. 267. Who this?
Hey, what up, Voch? This is Rohan.
Rohan. What up, Rohan? How old are you?
Rohan.
I'm 33.
What do you think about the outlaw Josie Wales?
I don't even know what that is.
Shit, bro. All right. All right, man. I guess I won't hang up on you. Go ahead. What you got?
All right, yeah. So I just wanted to make a point about what you guys was talking about a few days ago when we was talking about the generational talent and what we have on our team as far as Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. So when I was thinking about this over the last few days, I'm thinking like, all right, how do I make my generational talent better? And I feel like in this draft, when we talk about impact, I feel like Jordan Davis has the most impact on my generational talent, because I want Micah Parsons to be able to fly around. I want to get off the field on 3rd downs, putting him in 3rd and long. Yeah. Like, I want Micah Parsons to be Micah Parsons. So I would love to build around him on the defensive end. And I also hate what we did in free agency, not clearing up some of these holes as far as guard and stuff like that.
Sure.
When I think about impact, Jordan Davis has that impact for me. And if we had Jordan Davis in that 49ers game, I think that's a different game.
Oh, 100%.
Also about Jameson Williams, right? I just think that the impact that he would have on Dak and CD, like what he opens up for CD, the deep threat opposite of Michael Gallup, he could play in the slot, he can move around, do some things, do some Tony Pollard fun things, coming out of the backfield, swing routes. I just think that the impact that he would have, potential Tyreek Hill impact, is too good to pass up on, even with the injury. Because without the injury, to me, he's clear wide receiver 1. So I just don't see why a trade up would make any sense if we're not getting that type of impact that could either, 1, help my generational talent, or 2, help my franchise quarterback.
I think
easier routes and stuff like that. Whoever's the tight end. But that's all I had to say. I don't want to take up no time.
I think injury or not,
your thoughts on that.
I think injury or not, I don't think Jameson Williams is gonna make it to us. I think the league love Jameson Williams, and modern medicine. We ain't even talking about the ACL. He'll be ready for camp. You know what I mean? I ain't worry about that. But sure. And like I said again, what makes it weird at wide receivers that there's some good wide receivers, but they're all different. So it's not like you're getting, you're in theory getting a better receiver, but you're just getting a receiver that does different things. If you don't get Jameson Williams, you can live with whatever dude that you get at 24. So I'm not moving up for Jameson Williams necessarily. Jordan Davis, Stingley, Charles Cross. That's my list.
I love the thought process this caller has, though. Where hey, is this going to help my generational defender or my franchise quarterback? That simplifies it.
if we talking about value to your team, Jordan Davis has the best value out of anybody like Jordan Davis helps your team more than Kenyon Green does right now. You know what I mean? So
affects 3 levels of the defense.
3 of them. So
also
sorry.
I wanted to say something about. I feel like Jordan Davis also helps your linebacker situation.
All 3 levels of
right, 3 levels of it. Yeah.
He is free. You know what I'm saying? He's a much better player than his contract is saying right now. If he could run free, I think it helps you there. Also, the only reason I say the Jameson Williams because we never saw Dak with that type of speed to open up the. That's the only reason I say him. I get other receivers, though. I do love Olave.
But yeah, Olave could fall. Maybe.
Before I hang up on you, Rohan, do you ever wear tight shirts to look swole?
I used to.
I just want to make sure it ain't just me and Will still. Why'd you stop?
I got a little pudgy in the gut. You know what I mean? I got to get back in the gym, so it looked a little weird when, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
When the gut's a little too pudgy for me.
Yeah, fair enough. 100%, man. 100%. Get that membership, man. We rooting for you. Rohan, I just put you down platinum. Next time you call in, I know it's you, man. Salute.
Rohan.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Rohan.
I think it's my effort.
I remember you had a show where you was trying to get the folk to say it, correctly. Shit was hilarious.
And they just put all counter words in the chat that wasn't even. I just told y'all what it is. I ain't even
try to spell.
Hey, this is what we gonna do, man. Chat box. I'm gonna give y'all 6 minutes to get y'all shine on, man. My favorite instrumental to talk over is 3 minutes. We're gonna run it back twice. For whatever reason, you may not have been able to call into the show. This is your time. You can ask us anything. You can ask us football. You can ask us how we feel about Will. I was about to say Will Smith smacking the shit like Chris. What if you smack Chris Rock? Will Still?
Shit, I go viral, fam.
Fair enough.
Blow it up.
Fair enough, boy. Hey, yo, look. The goddamn concurrent views on the volume the next day.
Oh,
Will Still tells it all.
Nah, you know that gif where Cuba Gooding Jr. is coming out smiling, getting arrested.
That's you,
boy.
Career move. Let's go, chat. What y'all got for the show today? What are your questions?
Better than me. I'm in a fussing mood. Talking about Michael Parsons not. All right now.
Who the fuck said that?
I don't know who this dude is. He ain't a Cowboy fan. Read what he said. Can't watch these Cowboy video fans or fan videos calling Michael Parsons generational with a straight face. Like there's not elite rushers of his caliber every year of the draft, sir.
I can't find him. Where is he at?
Sir.
I need to address him.
As if what makes Micah elite is just his rushing. No.
Even if that's the case, even if Michael was only a rusher, what rookie rushers getting what, 12 sacks, you say? 12 and a half?
He had 13 sacks and 80-something tackles.
What rookie rushers giving you 13 sacks just off the rip, just 13 sacks? Then coverage.
Handful only.
Then spying. Then sideline to sideline tackling. Then
if you go look at his coverage stats, he was a top 5 coverage linebacker. And in some cases, top 2. The dude was elite in literally everything you can be on defense. Rushing the passer, defending the run, and covering. Man,
gentleman, that I ain't
basically, fuck him.
That gentleman is looking for attention. I ain't even seen him.
You're right.
I ain't even seen him. JT the pipe layer says, "Put the pipe down." Talking about the Lion.
Yeah, he talking about that dude. I think he talking about that dude. All right, what we got here?
All right. Why is Stingley and Gardner the only corners being talked about? Is Andrew Booth and Kyler Gordon or McDuffie just bad? No, we talk about it. McDuffie's good. Kyler is a good cover 3 guy that can tackle. All the Washington corners tackle. Andrew Booth, he's not sticky, but he's long. He's not my favorite tackler in the world. And the one thing that sticks out about me with Booth is Chris Olave just kept running past him.
What about the Florida kid, Elam?
Elam's fun. Elam's a player that a lot of people think he's going to play safety at some point. I just leave him at corner. Good size, good coverage ability. I like him more in zone than man, but he can play some man. Fun player. He'll probably go like in the 30s somewhere. Cool player. He's my. I got rankings. I got to turn in. Elam is my 5th ranked DB. That's all DBs.
Wow.
He's my 5th DB.
That's the first round.
He's higher than Kyler. Yeah, that's like a first. Sure, that's like a first round
100%.
pick, for sure. Voch, do you think Wan'Dale Robinson, 4.4 speed guy, is a better player than Mechie? No, I think Mechie does better wide receiver things than Robinson. Robinson may be the more gadgety dude, but I think if you were Mechie on the Cowboys is a cool little fit.
Here's Foot's guy. Can Jahan Dotson fall to us, Voch? I'm assuming he means second round Iceberg Q.
Jahan Dotson will probably be around for 24. But I think there'll be better players than him on the board at 24. Can Jahan Dotson make it to your second round pick? I don't think so.
By the way,
we didn't already close down the phone zone, but be sure to call in tomorrow and get you in. Go ahead, Will.
Came around to George Pickens in the first round at 24, Voch. Just wanted to let you know.
Who got George Pickens in the first round at 24?
I've come around to it.
You've come around to it.
It took a while, and I told y'all I need y'all to talk me into certain things. That was one. I came around to it. If you get wiped out is what I'm getting, And I shouldn't even say wiped out because I like them.
I like them too, but I need to be wiped out. I need to be wiped out. And it's not that I think he's a bad player. It's just that it all comes down. So he's 5th in my rankings because I just haven't seen it as long. You know what I mean? I've seen other players do it way longer than him. So, but Pickens is my number 5 receiver, man. Only because he, if Pickens had 3 years of work, he might be my second or third guy.
It's the P word for me, the potential. Compared with the floor, and I'm enamored. I tried my hardest because there wasn't a lot going on, and there was other guys I've seen more, and I'm still Olave. I feel like he brings a different element to the team, but I've come around to understanding Pickens is that dude. So.
Pickens, in a vacuum, Pickens' film is better than Olave's to me. In a vacuum, I just seen Olave do it more than Pickens. That's all. It's just a lot of questions with Pickens, and I'm a floor guy.
I didn't mean to ruin your show.
No, this is.
I just seen all this wide receiver talk, and we ain't talking about Pickens today, and I'm like,
we need this. We need this. This conversation is all valid because I wouldn't be mad if Pickens was the.
That's what I'm coming. When I say come around, I don't mean that's my number 124 overall pick. It's just that he's now in that group of, hey, if they take him, I'm good. Yeah. That's why I feel good sitting there, Voch. But go ahead.
I wouldn't be mad, but some shit gotta happen, boy. Some shit gotta happen. What's your confidence in Kelvin Joseph making the jump if we don't get Stingley? Boss man will be fine. Boss man will be fine. Voch, Hutch or Young? Man, I gotta know.
Ooh.
Chase
I think
Young.
he means Chase Young.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll go Chase. As prospects, I'll go Chase. I'm floor guy, and there's a part of me that likes what Aiden does on a floor level. But
that ceiling, the Chase boy.
Chase, and that's the thing. Chase has a floor, but Chase can get much better.
Mm-hmm.
So Chase is the kind of player I like, the player where I get some floor and I get some ceiling. I only get floor with Hutchinson. I'm going Chase for sure. I'm going Chase. Yeah.
I like this one from Real Sports Talk.
Go ahead.
The run game seemed to fall off towards the end of the middle end of the season. That was confusing. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that was?
Let me pause this shit. Wait a minute. The run game seemed to fall off towards the end of the middle end of the season. What the fuck is the end of the middle end? That's week 12? All right, Chad. Week 12 is the end of the middle end of the season.
Yeah, that threw me off, man.
The middle of the end of the middle.
Kick in there. Why do you think that was, and how can we improve on that and be more balanced? A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff.
Zeke was hurt. O-line was tired. Shit happens. Coop got COVID. There was a lot of shit going on.
I think our guy Kellen Moore too just kind of just forgot his way. Because I feel like this, Voch, like offensive coordinators can help a run game by their designs and schemes and plans. Like you don't have to have an excellent offensive line to have an efficient run game.
San Francisco, yeah.
Boom.
We should be watching all their film. We should be doing everything that they're doing.
San Fran, Philly, Washington, and the Rams all utilize the run game in a unique way. Even Kansas City. I'll be copying all that stuff.
Sure. Onk asked us about Trevor Penning. I'm fine on Trevor Penning. He's like my 9th ranked offensive lineman. Not a bad player, but I'm good on Trevor Penning.
I will tune into the draft show immediately. Cut 1 second, y'all. I gotta go over to Voch. If we draft Trevor Penning at 24, just to see your reaction.
Yeah, come find me, cuss. Yeah, come find me, cuss. Yeah, if Trevor goes before we pick, I'm celebrating. But if we the ones that get him, get me up out of there, bro.
By the way, Real Talk Sports. That was a great question. We just have some fun, man. Don't take
fantastic
it
question. We just fucking around. I got a super on the volume side. Calvin Jefferson drop 5. It says offensive linemen taken early seems to work out for Dallas. Dallas has shown that they can draft skill guys later or make players out of them.
Hey.
Not O-line. Fair enough.
That is a good point.
Cedric Wilson was a 5th round pick.
Michael Gallup, 3rd round.
Gallup was a 3rd round guy. Noah Brown still here.
Oh, he's still.
Malik was a guy, you know what I mean? So I think and then we still got to see what we're doing with Simi, you know what I mean? So I'm with that. I think we can find guys. And plus another thing on like wide receiver, the fact that you have CD and Gallup as your baseline guys, then that makes it okay, cool. We're just looking for like a 3rd option. We don't need somebody that's going to come in to be the man right now.
Hey,
so that helps.
Excellent draft to get you a wide receiver too.
Fantastic draft to do it. And then over in the Voch Lombardi side, in which there's 256 people watching concurrently, I need y'all to go to the volume on YouTube. Go to YouTube, go to the search bar, type in the volume. Voch is going to be live over on the volume side Monday through Fridays, every day at 3 p.m. Central. We're doing both channels in April, but starting in May, streams will be exclusively on the volume side. So make sure you don't miss any streams by subscribing to the volume. Because I already know what's going to happen. We're going to be in June. Like, damn, Voch must be in jail or something, boy. We ain't seen him go live in a minute, boy. What's going on with that?
Hey, y'all, feel free to hit us up on all the social platforms. Let us know how we doing. We still getting this thing, we tuning it up and trying to make sure it's ready to roll full head of steam for the season. So this is like preseason for us. Spring ball.
They have not even seen our second form yet. We're still base level. We ain't even done KO Ken yet, man. We just base
scouting right now.
Scouting. Going by Owen drop 5 in Super Chat says, anyone remember when Voch used to have the empty wall? Or we'll just make sure I'm on the wide screen while I read this. Gotcha. Anyone remember when Voch used to have the empty wall or used to be the setup in the middle of the living room? Time flies. You got damn right. Hey,
damn, we took it back.
Man. So sometimes you just gotta upgrade a little bit. Sometimes you gotta work your camera. Sometimes
let me say how long he's been able to come along. I remember no goddamn camera, black screen, just hearing his voice. I'll be right back. You could hear Voch opening the refrigerator, getting his water. That's ridiculous. And look where we at now. Look at that camera, boy. Show off, man.
Will still, why don't you have some class, man? You ain't got to talk about my refrigerator like that, man. You ain't got to talk about my. Let me just walk out.
Look at that thing.
My subjects. Fancy Voch. Maybe instead of water, I should be drinking some wine in here. Maybe where's my Jeffrey? Can you bring me some Merlot, please? There's no Jeffrey and there's no Merlot in the refrigerator. But we have definitely come along going by Owen. I appreciate you, Will. Still appreciate you for being around, man. It's a very humbling journey. Back to these supers. Armand dropped a 5 in the super chat. He says, "What's 1 or 2 positions you think will be mostly taken at the end of the first?" Offensive line and receiver. I think it's going to be a run on them. And George dropped another deuce in the super chat. Says top 3 anime shows: Detective Conan, Lupin the Third, and Dragon Ball is the granddaddy, so we'll say Dragon Ball. And then like Death Note. Death Note's up there for Voch. Well, you're not an anime guy, huh?
No,
you just watch.
My son is starting to get into it, but me, no.
You just watch wrestling. I feel.
Yeah, that's my side thing is wrestling.
We're going to talk about wrestling one day. Jeff C. Drop 5 Super Chat says, everybody says take a running back late. I'm not with that. I'm not trying to see 2015. I think they should take a guy in the 3rd or 4th every 2 or 3. Hey, I do think that you shouldn't just Like, we're not just gonna roll out with Hardy and just think Hardy's gonna be a guy, but I've seen success in the league with these day 3 running backs, and as long as you can block, they're fine. They're fine as long as you can block. Elijah Mitchell is just, and look, he ain't even the only guy, but like every year there's some more guys that just come in and just smoke this shit. So yeah, we're good. Landlord say, I remember the Beats headphones with the tape on them. Y'all don't remember the Beats with the tape on them. Come on, son. Look at Will still. Any back can run through a hole? Sure. We need the ruthless aggression era discussion on the episode. Hey, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Hey, dog.
We'll do it.
We can talk about whatever era you want to talk about. I'm here for it. I mean,
actually, let's end on this note. Will, still, let me ask you a question, right? The best entrance in wrestling. Now, let me just
see, this is too nuanced because what we talking about.
Let me just add a little bit of sauce to it, okay? Not just the music, because that's one thing. Not just how the crowd will react, not just but just everything. You know what I mean? The announcer in the background, put all of it together. The best entrance in wrestling.
I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that The Undertaker's entrance is the most iconic entrance. Is it my favorite? Not my favorite, but it is without a doubt the most iconic entrance of all time.
Let me just pause my music. I'm 30 years old. Me and Will grew up in the same era relatively. He's about 5-6 years older than me.
Hey, dog. Now they don't know my real age, and he still didn't give it to you. But
let me tell you about the best. And I'm looking at the chat too, and we're gonna end on this. Oh shit, we got it. Oh, it's already in there. Let me tell you something, Will. Still,
somebody said Gold Dust.
When you just chilling and you minding your business, right? You just chilling and whatever's happening. Larry Zbysko's talking. Mean Gene Okerlund's doing his thing. The damn Shockmaster's tripping over some shit over here.
WCW. We gonna say Goldberg?
Listen, Will Steele. In the height of the streak, Starrcade in particular. Let's go Starrcade in 90, whatever that was, 99, I think. The music comes on. And this was different for like wrestling intros at the time, because wrestling intros was always camera, ramp, walk down. We go backstage. And you see police lined up on both sides of the wall.
Yeah, that's hard.
And then security walk up and go. And then he backs up and get in line. And Goldberg, 6'5", 300 pounds, not fat at all, kicks open the door, walks down the hallway. Security walk with him. Left, right. Starrcade in particular. He sees a kid. He stops. He looks at the kid. He signs the kid's autograph. Rubs the kid on the head. Him and police keep walking. They keep walking to the entrance, right? Then at some point he goes off. He walks on the platform. Sparks hit him, Will Steele.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks hit him. He blows smoke. Blows smoke. Bang, 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 bang. Whoever's announcing the undisputed heavyweight champ. This was before Lillian Garcia.
Lillian Garcia. Howard Finkel, sir.
Relax. World champion of the world, Goldberg. And then when you listen, you hear the crowd going,
Goldberg. Yeah.
Now listen, I don't like what happened to Goldberg in WWE.
No, you talking about height of Goldberg WCW, without a doubt.
99.
That's top 5 entrances of all time. And if you said one, I wouldn't argue it. Just
that collective of things. And look, Steve Austin 4-wheeler, Eddie Guerrero in the car, shit like that.
Well, that was added on. Austin was just break the glass and he come out. So that's why when you said everything,
yeah,
I had to think, okay, the theatrics, and that is part of Goldberg, was the theatrics. The same thing with Undertaker. I don't know if there was, but when you talk about just music, I mean, when you hear Ultimate Warrior's hit, or you hear, oh, what a rush, and things like that, those are some of my favorites. You know what I mean? But Taker and Goldberg, they put it all together, man. All together.
I even borderline have an issue with like early WCW music, like Macho Man come out to the graduation theme and
still,
shit.
Yeah.
But then he turned into what up, Mach? Like he turned into that shit. Like that's my era that I was really fucking with. And in the middle of that, you just had Goldberg and Wolfpack. Like that Goldberg, Wolfpack, black and white. That was the one. That's the joint for me.
I was at WrestleMania walking around like this. This is what I love about the wrestling community. I put this up, just random people. To sweet, just giving me 2 sweets. I love it, man. The community is just a fun community if you ever can go to a live event.
I would love to get back into it, but I don't think I'm in touch with like current wrestling. I don't think I'm too in touch with like where it's at now.
Yeah, I fell out for a long time about right after the start of the Ruthless Aggression, and then I didn't come back to like 2014-ish, 2015. So I was out for a while. My man said, "Will, get back into it, man. This and this is happening." End up getting back into it. It's cool. It's all right. I don't watch it a lot, but the Big Four, I'm on it. I'm on it.
My rest where I came from to get you canceled.
100%. We did get canceled. How many times we got it?
For sure. For sure. Conan rolling up. Yeah. Where my hoochies at? Him and I forgot who
you talking about WCW.
He was like, go ahead and feel it. That's enough. Like Conan's pimp thing. Oh, come on.
Or Godfather the yeah. You can't do that anymore, man.
Hey, chat. We're not.
I know we will go for an hour, bro.
Because we'll still look. This is what I tried to do. I tried to get the show over in an hour, and we was at like 4:05, and I was like, all right, cool, we straight. Wrestling.
So we ain't even touch it, bro. We all over the place with it because we get excited about the golden era of it. Well, there is technically a golden era, but that era, the Monday Night War era, was my golden era, man. So
2 more minutes. Matt Owen talking about Sting coming from the rafters. Sting doing anything. Sting took off a Sting mask.
And man be like,
it was Sting.
It's Sting.
It's part of beating motherfuckers with a bat. Yeah. Like, come on, dog. Like, don't make me subscribe to Peacock. Every 2 years or so, I just go back and watch old wrestling shit. I will go straight to Peacock.
Have you I'm gonna just ask you this before. Have you watched Monday Night Wars yet?
I have not.
Do yourself a favor. Get Peacock and just watch Monday Night Wars. You will fall in love. You will feel like you're back in 1997, bro. It is one of the best documentary series ever. Check out Monday Night Wars.
I might do that today.
Hey, and rest in peace to our bad guy, Scott Hall.
R.I.P. to the bad guy, man. Hey, and Dwayne Haskins, and just
Rayfield Wright, yeah,
all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Gilbert Godfrey. R.I.P. That's it. We ain't gonna add no extra shit. We're not gonna talk about nobody's career. We're not gonna say the kind of dad they was. Just R.I.P. That's it. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in, though. Do all things for the YouTube algorithm here on the volume. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button. If you're on the Voch Lombardi side, also hit the like and subscribe. I would love for y'all to one day just to congregate over here on the volume side. But we'll cross that road. We'll work the rest of the month to get that done. Follow me on all platforms, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Also follow me on twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. That's where my non-football content lives, and we will be streaming Elden Ring tonight. Once again, Elden Ring getting lit. So come in and people's out there. Will Still, where can everybody find you?
Hey, on Twitter, @Skywalker Still, and tomorrow morning, should be tomorrow morning, unless something changed. Every morning, Monday through Friday, at A to Z Sports Dallas, talking about your Dallas Cowboys, man.
Live stream tomorrow, Foot's the King Friday. Hey, we appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. Until next time, volume.
Beats Planet.